Yep.
Now, one thing that was unusual about this in particular storm was you were seeing blizzard warnings as opposed to winter storm warnings. Now, there's a big difference between a blizzard and a winter storm. That's one thing that most people don't necessarily understand. And the
Right.
main aspect when it comes to blizzards is
Your wind.
the winds. That is probably the most important aspect of a blizzard warning because that's what drops your visibility down. And when your visibility is down, cars cannot see where they're going. And maybe in a winter storm warning, I was trying to explain this to someone earlier, this is a blizzard warning, not a winter storm warning. People will be like, well, I want to get home from work, I'm just going to try it. In a winter storm, you have your huge truck that can get through, maybe some huge snow drifts or something along those lines. In a blizzard, even if you do have a type of vehicle that will get you through that's not going to help with the blizzard warning because with the strong winds that blows all the snow around, and that just drops your visibility down to near zero. So no matter what kind of vehicle you're driving in, it's not the amount of snow you're seeing, it's the winds. Now we have Rachel in the weather studio she's going to tell us a little bit more about what exactly the criteria are when it comes to a blizzard. Rachel?
Thanks, Lisa. Now, in order for a snowstorm to be considered to be a blizzard, it must meet certain criteria, the first of which is winds must be sustained at 35 miles per hour or greater. The second is that blowing snow must cause a quarter of a mile or less visibility. We would also like to point out that there is no accumulating snow in this criteria. That is because any amount of snow that is blowing and causes poor visibility can be considered to be a blizzard. I'm Rachel Dunzing, back to Lisa and Jack in the studio.
Well, that explains at least a little bit more why and how these are two different animals, the winter storm warning and the blizzard warning. Now, here in Valparaiso, we did reach 43 mile per hour wind gusts in the area, but the lakeshore, over by where Lakeshore Drive is, they reached up to 70 miles per hour. Those are some very strong winds. Now, throw a little snow in there, and you're going to be seeing some very, very strong visibility issues.
Yeah, that's just extreme conditions right
Very
there.
extreme. It's the extreme, they would say. Now let's look at a video. I actually tried to go out. I had a View TV weather update here at Valparaiso University that I made an attempt to do outside during the blizzard. Now the winds weren't even gusting up to 43 at this time. This was probably about 2 or 3 hours before the event actually came here. Let's show the video. These are kind of like the blooper reel, I guess you would say, with you can just see how that snow just gets picked up and just smacks me in the face. Absolutely hard. You can't even breathe. You're eating the snow. And that's what some of these extreme meteorologists go out there and do, and I must say I enjoyed it.
I gotta give you props. Like,
thank you.
That looks good. That looks. I mean, I'm sure it was hard out there.
It was. Well, as you can tell, my face gets red.
Yeah.
Halfway through, I was uploading the video because here at VUTV we try and put these updates up as soon as possible. That way, people know, this is what it's like outside right now. I'm not gonna try and walk to the Union to get food. I think I'm just gonna stay in my dorm today. Because it was at times you just couldn't see anything, and then my face was red across the whole video, and that's just because the winds were so strong and so wet, and it just totally takes your breath away when you're trying to walk. Now here's the actual update. We'll go ahead and show you that one.
Good Tuesday afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Lisa Meadows outside of Valparaiso University, where classes have been canceled after 3:30 p.m. as well as tomorrow. We are currently under a blizzard warning in effect from 3 p.m. tonight into 3 p.m. tomorrow, associated with the low visibility, making travel nearly impossible overnight. There's also some thunder snow in the forecast as we move into the overnight hours, which could be dropping up to 4 inches of snow per hour. Stay tuned to Valparaiso University Television for your most localized weather update.
We're gonna go ahead and move on to thunder snow, which is a topic that Jack looked more into, something that many of us don't really know anything about.
Well, have you ever seen thunder snow?
No, I haven't seen thunder snow.
I've seen thunder snow, and it's pretty awesome. Like, when you see the bolt of lightning and it strikes and you can see the reflection off all the snowflakes, it makes like one of the coolest images and weather I think you can ever have.
Wow.
And it really, depending on how much snow's in the air, it can change the color of the lightning depending on where you are too. It's really cool. But a thunder snow forms the same way that a regular thunderstorm does in the summertime. You need to have a lot of instability and lift so that your air has enough vertical motion to really accelerate. And so that way, when your air at the close to the ground gets pushed up, that means that it's going to be warmer, elevated than the rest of the surrounding air. So that's good for cloud formation, and if you get more and more of that, you'll be able to build a nice thundercloud. And even though in the wintertime the clouds don't reach as tall as they do in the summertime, we still had enough of that going on with this storm where we had enough lift causing large cumulus clouds to develop, and that essentially became our thunderstorms. So just take thunderstorm, replace the rain with some snow, and that's what thunder snow is.
And possibly hail. There is also
That's
hail
true.
thrown in
That's
there
true.
too.
And just like in a thunderstorm, you have a lot of localized rain that's very heavy. Like you could have inch or more per hour rainfall rates, and the same thing can be said with thunder snow as well. So you can get 1 to 2 inch snowfall rates too, which is just like devastating to a community, in this case, downtown Chicago. So
Wow.
yeah, and in fact, we're going to show you a look at the map real quick, showing you all the lightning strikes that were recorded during this winter storm, and we can see that Chicago had a few, but the majority of the storms were in Illinois and a few in Indiana as well. So again, like just an incredible storm with this. And in fact, that one in downtown Chicago, one of those was actually featured on national television on the Weather Channel with their own Jim Cantore, and he was there to really experience thunder snow firsthand. So let's take a look at that real quick.
Well, I heard it was a bus spin out plus cars are oh! Listen to that! Son of a... That's unbelievable! Oh my goodness!
As we take a look at the great Lakeshore Drive debate, the
Yeah.
Lakeshore Drive shutdown, broadcast meteorologists had been talking about this severe winter storm for days. We knew it was going to be a blizzard. We knew that it was going to drop a lot of snow, and it could quite possibly shut down many areas, just like here in Valparaiso. Valparaiso University decided to do the snow day. We knew quite ahead of time what was going to happen, but still people were out on the roads, and that's what happened. Just to give you a little bit of a background, if you didn't hear about the national story, at 7:58 on February 2nd, Lakeshore Drive was closed down. Now, before this happened, there was a good period of 1 to 2 inches of snow falling per hour in association with the 70-mile-per-hour winds. Now, you put those two together, and that's just going to cause a disaster right there.
Yeah.
But what happened was there were 3 different car accidents, one including a bus, and the lanes of Lakeshore Drive are very, very compact. They run along the lake through the Chicagoland area. And as those accidents occurred, that stopped traffic, and no one could get off the road. And then as the snow continued to pile up, as it was accumulating so quickly, it just led to quite a disaster area. Let's go to a clip right now of a picture of what Lakeshore Drive looked like after the event had occurred.
Oh my gosh, just look at that. It's like straight out of one of those disaster movies, like Day After Tomorrow.
2012, Day After Tomorrow,
Yeah.
definitely is what that actually looks like. But my question is, if we knew, and so many broadcasters had said to the public, this is what's going to happen. Even Dr. Bart Wolf says, about 3 p.m., a little bit after 3, we're going to be starting to see snow start to come in. You know that you need to start looking at where you need to be leaving at about that time or before then, to where you get to where it's a safe area. But if we knew this, why were there still people out on Lakeshore Drive?
I don't even know why. Just the fact that on Sunday, the Sunday before it happened, they already issued the blizzard warning for Tuesday. They already knew it, and they never changed it. It was always set for Tuesday afternoon when the blizzard warning would go into effect. So, from Sunday until Tuesday afternoon, really, the public should have known, and they were informed. But I don't know. A lot of people left during from work the normal time, and I've even heard some reports of people who would go and get milk and bread from the grocery store. So these are milk and bread are some of the things you should already have in your house and ready to go in case of emergencies like this. But definitely some poor choices were made in terms of going out on there. Whether you have an SUV or not, if you took Lakeshore Drive, you got stuck.
Yeah, there were over 200 cars they had listed out there. And another thing is, a lot of these people, most of these cars probably didn't have the emergency materials that,
Yep.
like you had said, a lot of people went to go get milk and bread. You should already have, everyone needs a safety plan and a safety box at home. You need a NOAA weather radio as well with batteries, flashlights, water, canned food, snacks, and then also in your car.
Yep.
You need all of this material as well, just in case something like this happens, especially blankets
Yeah.
when it comes to a situation like this.
Yeah, you can have a blanket, some jumper cables, flashlights, and then even carry one around, like one of those little lunch boxes with maybe some snacks and a bottled water, so that you've got enough stuff to really keep you going. Eating helps keep your body warmer too. And with that picture, I can guarantee most of those cars had ran out of gas, since a lot of them were sitting in their cars for like 13 hours. So they definitely were going to blow through their gas tank. So by having those safety precautions, you probably could have turned your car off and used your blanket, and you could turn your car on periodically. You wouldn't have to keep it running the whole time. So you just got to be prepared for these kind of things. And you know, even when you're in the city, you're not even in the rural zones. It can still happen in the city, and that's definitely the case that happened here.
Yes, a very, very interesting topic. Well, that is it for us. Thank you for turning into the first Cold Front episode. I am Lisa Meadows.
And I'm Jack Griffin.
Stay safe out there, Valpo.